Like I mentioned, sometimes the hardest part is just putting items into these categories that we reviewed. So let's review those categories. You have operating, investing, and financing. There's your definition of what you'll find in each one of those categories. And let's work through an example. Feel free to pause the video and try and answer it on your own first. Item 1, we pay the landlord for the month's rent. Okay, you can go back and look at your notes. It's actually one of the examples I used there that would fall in the operating section. All right, number 2. We received cash payment from one of our customers. That would also be operating. Making sales to our customers, whether it's a sale of a service or a good, that's part of our core business operations. And those core business operations, those fall under the operating section. Item 3, we sold stock investment in company XYZ. Okay, so we are company ABC. We are holding as an investment some stock. Perhaps that word gives it away, but it is going to fall under investment. Okay, because remember, financial investments will go in the investing section. Paid an advertising firm for their monthly work. This also goes in the operating section. Purchased a new piece of equipment for $60,000. Again, we always assume it's cash unless they say otherwise. If it had said purchased a new piece of equipment on account, right? But if it just says purchased, we're going to assume cash. So if it's cash, it's going to go into one of these first 3 categories. That sounds like equipment. So it's going to go into the investing section. Issued preferred stock. Any stock transactions, our own stock transactions, right? Stock issuances, that's going to be in financing. Number 7, pay dividends to those preferred shareholders. Anything related to our stock, dividends we pay on that stock, is also financing. Purchased a new vehicle with $6,000 cash and $3,000 trade-in of old vehicle. Here you're actually going to have 2 categories. Okay, a new vehicle, that's equipment. We purchased equipment with cash. That goes in the investing section. But that full disclosure principle, right, tells us that we also have to disclose the trade-in value that we received. And that's going to go in non-cash investing. Okay, so we can have more than one category. And I'll show you what that looks like in just a minute. Just to show you what that non-cash section actually looks like on the financial statement. As I mentioned, it's shown up as a footnote. So there it is at the bottom. Okay, there's your 3 sections: operating, investing, financing, and here is your non-cash. Back to our example. The last one, paid interest on a bank loan. Okay, this one is actually the operating, falls into the operating section. It's a bit tricky, right? When we think of loans, our mind should go to financing. Okay, because anything relating to long-term debt goes into financing. And that is true for the principal of that debt. But US GAAP, those rules say that the interest we pay on debt falls into the operating section. So interest paid does fall into the operating section under US rules. All right, good job on that example. All right, you'll have one to try as an assignment as well, just making sure you can identify the right categories for a different item.